The PLO.
The hell is that?
The Premier Lacrosse League.
I came in with my ex like Selena, the flex. Bumping Justin Bieber, the fever and left. She know what she need, or she blessed. Giving my best. Yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back. What's with that? 21, I love him, they're my brother, that's my stack. Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap. She on my nerves. She think that I need her. Kick her to the curb. All I know is you could've had the world. Had the world. Yeah, you were my world.
Got these girls on my neck. Got these girls on my check. And Selena, baby, on my cheating, baby, yeah. She taking a Lambo for a drive. It's on my bed's door. And she way out the store. I got my heart on my sleeve with the city on my back.
Bang, we're back. We are back, baby. Net Profits. Got my man Brenny, got my man Lloyd Locks, the Locks Kings here. And, man, I got a little egg on my face, too. We'll talk about our jersey bet gone wrong, at least on my end. I actually have the PLL shop up on my phone because I have to buy a jersey live on air here for my man Brenny. But he gets to go to California, get all that sun, and now he's going to look, all nice and tan in a nice new Atlas jersey because my dumbass took an under I never should have. So I guess, Brenny, I'll start with you, brother. How was the vacay? Welcome on back. And how was the betting weekend, my guy?
I mean, the vacay was great, but to be completely honest, I think the betting weekend was better. We had this show last week with this same trio, and I'm happy that we have it again because last week was my best week in the PLL this entire season. That's not saying much because I haven't had too great of a year, but 2 weeks ago, I hit the Whip Snakes as my only pick. Last week, I had up to 4 winners, did not have a single loser, and a cherry on top, I'm getting a nice teal Atlas jersey.
Fucking A.
That's right.
It's just brutal. Just brutal for me. Lloyd, how about you, brother? How are you doing, man? And honestly, a absolute terrific addition because while I may have sold the bag here and lost the head-to-head bet, I, too, had a great betting weekend outside of that under. I had a lot of props that got home for me. Live betting was a dream. So you're just our good luck charm, brother. You're never allowed to leave. It's like I'm not fucking leaving. That's you now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, straight. Give me Leo straight out of Wolf of Wall Street, man. I'm here and I'm staying. I'm not going nowhere, I tell you. The betting weekend was pretty good, man. For the first weekend of fully kind of getting into it, the Atlas plus 220 was really my only loser. Live betted the Atlas, the over at 26.5. That hit. Did that at halftime, and then the Chaos. I told you guys about the Chaos last weekend. That's my team. I love them. Get a big win against the Redwoods. I mean, kind of getting hot at the right time. Hopefully, we'll see about that. But the betting weekend was absolutely phenomenal, and the weekend, beside itself, absolutely amazing, man. Family, friends, kind of kicked it all weekend. Did Jake Paul fight? Watched a little bit of that. So a fun, eventful betting weekend for sure.
You love to see it. And, of course, we love coming back on Net Profits with profits in our pocket, boys. So, today we're going to, look back at what we saw. You just got a little bit of that right there. But then we're also going to make our picks. Lines dropped earlier this morning, so we'll get to do a little against the spread. First things first, guys, if I ever come on here and try and tell you to bet an under again, just slap me in the face. Just say, no, you're not allowed to do it anymore. Don't let it happen because I think it hurts even more. It was the Archers and Atlas under, and I came on here. I made a really good case for why the under had some potential value, why I thought I should bet it. And even Brenny just sat back and he was just like, I don't know, man. I get it. The numbers are there. The spot makes sense. But he's like, you're really going to tell me to bet the under in a team that just scored 19 goals the week before. So what was brutal, though, was there was a goal early on. What was it? I think Connor Fields had the hat trick to start the game. And Brenny, you were talking about how this dude is just a walking bucket. And the one – it looked like his foot was on the line, dude. I know they reviewed it. It seemed like a quick little review. So that was one goal that hurt me. And then later in the game, Chris Gray ripped the 2. He put the 2s up right away. I don't even think they ran the fucking video because I looked at it 6 times. I was like, his foot is on the line. I felt like the dude in Grown Ups that's complaining about how his foot was on the line in the shootout shit. So if those 2 goals would have gotten switched up, I would have just been under, but instead, Brenny, you're getting a jersey, man. You get to bury me. You've earned.
Coulda, woulda, coulda, newbie. Over smacks. Lloyd was also on the winning end with 26.5, so even more sweaty on his end.
Oh, yeah.
Those were two things that I wrote down coming into the show. First of all, Connor Fields takes over. Like I said, I'm on vacation, and I'm getting texts. I haven't even tuned in yet on ABC. The game I just started, newbies like, the over is going to hit, the under.
I was just trying to mush it. I was trying to do the reverse mush.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, at that point, you got to do something. You got to do something.
I was trying.
You got to do just
fighting
anything.
for my life.
And it
I was
worked.
fighting for my life.
It totally worked. Connor Fields literally shut down the rest of the other 3 quarters. He was more of a distributor, but it got mega sweaty. The under looked so good, and then it was a pair of 2s down the end that really brought it back, having just a chance to hit. And I mean, just overall, take the betting aspect away. Obviously, I'm the winning end, so it doesn't hurt. It feels good, but incredible game. Us 3 can all agree on that.
100%.
Dude, absolutely. Like we said, how, potentially this games of the weekend sandwiched around, but we'll get to that Water Dogs Cannons game. Cannons just absolutely rolling. But we talked also about how these games that are on ABC, you're going to see live lines on it. So one thing that I did at least be able to get down on was Atlas. When they went down a little bit early, I got them at a +2.5, and we were all texted back and forth. We were like, do we get them on the money line? And I think, Lloyd, you were mentioning that was one of the ones that you didn't quite get home. Like the Atlas just seemed like they can't get out of their own way, dude, because I thought that ticket was hella live heading on to over.
Yeah, no, I love that ticket, especially early. I mean, like you said, teams go on runs, especially in the PLL, and you can go on a run really quick, right? So, I mean, they go into the 4th looking really good. They scored to go up 3, I believe it was, in the 4th, and then just like Brenny said, man, I mean, and like we've talked about kind of this entire time, we talked about it last week as well. The Archers just a team that can pull a string of goals together like no other, man. I mean, you got a team that put together 4 unanswered goals late in the 4th in just over a minute and 6 seconds. And that's just unbelievable stuff, man. You can't really compete with that and beat that. And especially at the end when I went into overtime, right? So I had the over. So I'm sitting here sweating the over. I got the cam, and Newbie, I have to have you send me some clips so I can get those out. And I'm sitting there sweating the game. And I got Atlas, but I got the over. So I'm like, well, the over, we're going to OT, right? And in the rules, the guy that was explaining the rules, I was kind of confused for a second because I didn't know I knew it wasn't going to end in a tie, but I didn't know I thought they were just going to play like another quarter, but it's just one goal and that's
Golden
it.
Goal.
And so I was like, oh my God. So I'm sitting here sweating, dude. Me, my dad, and my girlfriend are all sitting downstairs watching the game. And because I'm trying to get dad into it, it's hilarious, man. Because dad's never watched lacrosse. I'm like, Dad, you got to watch this, man. It's electric. And we had a hell of a time watching it. And so I got the Atlas in my back pocket +220. And then it's just, of course, when we kind of went to overtime, I was like, man, they're so hot right now. There's no way they'll win this game. At least the over will cash. Over cashes. I'm exactly right. What happens. And we move on. But just a hell of a game, man. And this Archers team, we can't talk enough about them, man, and how resilient they are, especially when they go down. They're just one of the toughest teams to fully beat. You got to play all 4 quarters to beat this team.
No, 1,000%. And you have to play all 4 quarters and then play in overtime too, apparently. Like you give them your best shot and then you still end up losing there. So, our Atlas doing all they can to at least keep Chrome's playoff hopes on life support. But guys, I mean, Whips, Chrome, that wasn't even a game. Like you could turn that thing off early as Chrome are easily like, okay, the goal differential says it, but just the eye test says it too. Like, dude, they can't figure anything out, right, Brenny? Like that's the Redwoods and the Chrome to me are like the 2 teams that just can't get out of their own way. That like really can't figure it out.
Yeah, and the toughest part about the Chrome is they're just gradually and exponentially even turning into the laughingstock of this league, because as amazing as this playoff format is, where you pretty much get to see everybody have a chance in the postseason, the one team that gets left out, it's just almost 10 times worse for them and their fan base, because it's like you're just a loner out there. Like normally in the MLB, there's so many teams this year that went out and spent a ton of money, and they're going to fall short of October in playoff runs, and they can all kind of hang together and be like, they were worse. New York was worse. The Padres were the worst. X, Y, and Z, the list goes on. In the PLL, it's fun for some, but for that one, it's a very difficult process. I'm not going to say they're completely out of it, but you bring up the Redwoods. They look really bad right now, But on the other hand, this format gives them a little bit of life. You play once a week, you have a full week to kind of regenerate, get on the same page, and then go out and get hot before the postseason.
Yeah, but the thing is too, and in that game, Whip Snakes like laying the goal and a half was the only look for me in that one. I didn't end up betting it because I don't like laying stuff in this league unless it's a money line pick. It's just it gets so tight. But that was the only look there for me. So Lloyd, I don't know if you have anything more to really add other than Jesus Christ. The Chrome look awful. I think they were smelling themselves a little bit. They were in the champ series, and they won the champ series. I didn't realize there would be a hangover from a completely different format that happened in February, but that's what it looks like with this Chrome team. So I don't know if you have anything else or if you want to get into Redwood's chaos.
Well, I mean, it's been the same thing. I mean, kind of for the Chrome all season. There's been no shock. Like Bernie said, the Redwoods at least have some sort of life. But I mean, if you're Chrome, you got Archers this weekend. We all know how that's going to go. There's going to be no surprise there. So, like, I mean, you're just looking at a team that's going to be digging itself a bigger and bigger hole, and it's going to be tough. And the Redwoods got cannons this weekend. I mean, like both these teams, like you said, I mean, Redwoods got a little bit more life, but it's going to be kind of a close one, I believe, at the end, because these teams, especially this weekend, could look to be stacking up a lot of big losses. And the game itself was just, like you said, it was all Whip Snakes. They took the lead early and just never looked back. I mean, the keeper Krebs was amazing, 12 saves on 71%. There was just not a lot the Chrome could get going, and it's been like that all year for this team. So I don't expect anything else or different this weekend, especially.
No, and especially, and if you even just look, so it's Chrome Archers this weekend, Chrome Redwoods. Redwoods really going to need a win in that one if they want to at least have some momentum towards the end of the season. And then Chrome finishes it up against Chaos. Like I don't see another win for them. Like maybe you can talk me into taking them against the spread. But right,
that's it though.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So we'll see because they're getting 2.5 this week. We'll talk about that in just a few here. Man, I love the chat popping off here, guys.
Yeah.
So we had one person who was just saying, well, we had just glow stick in there that I hate fun because of the under. I did hate fun in that game, but it was very fun in the group chat, just trying to reverse mush the entire bet, but it didn't work. I did all I could, man. I was fighting for my goddamn life. But man, Brenny, what size are you? So I know for this jersey that I got to grab.
I'll go small.
I like that. You a nice medium, show off the pipes a little bit, get your, all-American pipes out a little bit.
Should we cut the sleeves off?
I like that.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That might be a PLL jersey. That could be the first time.
I like that. Like the penny vibes.
That might be a debut jersey.
That would be.
Debut PLL jersey with the cutoff. Now, like that.
Now, this brings up a larger conversation because I don't know what your guys' feelings are as far as jerseys. Like, I'm pro wearing jersey. I know that that's like one of the most like tightly contested thing on sports Twitter, on sports socials is like, should you wear jerseys? Should you not? I'm pro jersey, but I don't know how I feel. Like, are we getting Brenny a Brenny custom, or are we getting you one of the players? Because the custom jerseys don't do it for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I used to have jerseys with my name on the back.
And
I went as far as my first name, ironically enough, which is just way worse. Wow. Like, looking back, that's just stupid. But
I love it so much.
I'm good with either, man. I don't want to. I'm not trying to get newbie to go drop a bag on a custom PLL.
Oh, it's no problem. I've been making so much money on the PLL. Like this is just funds,
Yeah.
This is charge it to the game at this point.
But
that's right.
We still have a lot more lacrosse left, and I definitely don't think that's the end of this trio doing some wagers with each other. So
that's true.
100%.
I'll let newbie pick his favorite, or you can go my name, Brenny, whatever you want. I'm putting the ball in your court because
I like that.
This was a great bet. It was a lot of fun. There's no hard feelings, but I'm definitely ready for round 2.
Just glow stick. Custom jerseys are for dads. I tend to agree. The custom jerseys, but also, Lloyd, what a wild move. The first name on the custom jersey.
You gotta love the first name, man. I mean, at some point in my life, when I hit the age of like 21, I was like, all right, man, I gotta stop putting my name on the back of jersey. I played ball in high school, I played a little bit in college. The only jersey that's got my name on it's sitting right there, and that's the only one that I need. That's the one that I got, and the rest of them will have definitely the PLO guys' names on the back. I tell you that much.
Oh my
right, well,
gosh,
we'll
I'm
see.
just catching shots. Last
Yeah, you're
week,
catching straight bullets in the
look
chat,
at the
Brendan.
chat. I mean, we're bringing up last week. I immediately, the second we got off the stream, I
Dude,
said,
Brady
"Guys,
might be a
edit that out.
dad.
Edit that out. No clipping that." And now I'm catching straight for my elementary school jersey habits.
Yeah, 100%. Brady might be a dad. He's rocking polo today too, man. You better be careful, Chad. He's rocking the polo today too.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're
It's
not
got
wrong.
my
See,
name
that's
on the back. Trust.
Yeah, trust. That's right, dude. Absolutely.
See, this is what's fucked up though. Like Brenny should be on here victory lapping as he just absolutely felled me like a
the
beast
weekend,
in the
yeah.
head-to-head bet, and he's catching stray bullets. Chat, come on, be better. Be better. What are we
They
doing?
hate you
here,
and you're
guys?
up top. I've gotten a lot of laughs this year for my terrible plays early on, and now I'm just heating up. So I got to get my redemption with the chat. A lot of these guys are regulars in the chat here on SoBet, so we still have plenty more shows, guys. I'm gonna heat up. Just trust me, all right?
Well, and the thing is too, is this also goes to like a larger thing in sports betting, like, and especially, with the NFL coming up, the NFL, I liken a decent amount to betting on the PLL, not, the market and how it's bet, but it's because every season you can almost look at in a microcosm because the seasons are so short. It's only, 1 day a week. I guess it's 2 days a week, but 1 game a week for these teams.
Right.
So it's not like baseball where it's a grind where you have to handicap how this pitcher's going to do, how this rotation is going to do. So for me, I always tread a little bit lightly early on in the NFL season because all you have to go off of is preseason. All you have is what happened last year or, season over season trends,
100%.
whereas every year is unique to itself. So to Brenny's point, as the year goes on and we have more, we know how these teams are, it's not just a guess game. I feel like the more data that you have in a season that does stand alone, like how the NFL does, that's probably why you see guys who are handicapping, all season long starting to heat up here towards the back end because you just have more data. Like you're just guessing before that point. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean,
100%.
Yeah. No, but go ahead, Bernie.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say with that, winter series or the indoor was that what 6-on-6, 7-on-7?
Yeah, 6s, which is completely fucking different than what we see.
I mean, that's a totally different game. And to be completely honest, outside of that basketball tournament that's 3-on-3 on CBS during like this season, or even if you watch rugby, they play 7s, which is a way different game. There is no comparing any of that. And like you said, the worst team in the league right now was very competitive in February. There's nothing to base off of that. It's a goal, and the goalie picks it up out of the goal and outlets it, and right down the field they go. That's not really the way lacrosse was originally made. I think it's an awesome addition. It's very exciting. But if that's all we have to base it off of, then you should just bet exactly the opposite of what happened in the winter series.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, okay, any synergy that you got in that is completely null and void once you get to the outdoor because it's a completely different game. Look at Romar Dennis. He ends up just getting traded. He was like the star of the championship series because his ability to stretch the field because, they had a shorter 2-point arc. So I'm right there with you. Guys, we'll get into it. We'll get our picks here in just a second for this upcoming week. But we kind of already belabored the point. Redwoods quite like literally before our eyes turning into dog shit. I told you guys before the season, I bet them over 4.5 wins on the year. It was looking so live. Now there's 3 games left. They need to win 2 more games for me to cash that. This week they play the Cannons. That's probably an L. Next week, Chrome, okay, you can get it. And then it could all come down to Atlas Redwood. So if they don't, I'm writing this week off. They need to get 2 wins in the last 2 weeks of the season. So any thoughts? Do you think I can get that one home, or that goose is cooked, boys?
I don't know. I mean, it's just a tough bet. I mean, you got a team that looked somewhat decent early, and then against this Chaos team this weekend, kind of just fell apart, man. And it's we haven't seen too much of it from this team, and you got a Chaos team that was looking kind of for a bounce back win. This is a team that showed a lot of resilience in this game. Redwoods go up early 5-0. And if you would have told me that the Chaos would have come back and won this game, I would have told you you're crazy, especially what I saw last week against the Whipsnakes. But I mean, just the resilience of this team and finally showing something and being able to finish a game. I really liked what I saw out of Chaos, man. And I'm, like I said,
Agreed.
I'm a Chaos guy, but I mean, no matter how bad the Redwoods looked, the Chaos played really well. And, the ability to finish a game, what they could not do do against the Whip Snakes shows a little bit difference. Kind of, I would say the coaching too a little bit as well, but their offense is clicking at the right time, and they played sensational towards the end of the game, which was really awesome. So I love what I saw from Chaos. Redwoods, not so much.
Yeah, and dude, like I even too, getting into the year, I was like Nat St. Laurent, head coach of the Redwoods. I was like, this dude has to be on the hot seat. And I've said that like the last 3 years, and the seat looks like it's getting hotter. So, Brenny, either that, the Redwoods chaos, or the Cannons beating Water Dogs 12-8. Any takeaways from the Sunday slate? Because for me, really, the only takeaway was, wow, up 5-0, and the Redwoods still couldn't get it done for me. My ticket is dead.
Yeah, I said this last week. All you got to do is look at that goal differential, and you know that this team is just one of those teams that's sliding by. They're getting wins when other teams are not capitalizing on opportunities to win games. I would argue that the Redwoods wins haven't come from them winning games, but other teams not putting them away when they should. And, you know, that's how you can rack up a few wins and sneak into the playoffs in a league like this. But with the Cannons game, all I have to say is, with how much of a long shot they were, newbie, I think you brought it up. Their over-under win total at one point was 2.5 wins. Mm-hmm. And this is a team where they got a few wins. They hit a couple in a row, and we all came on here and asked ourselves, are the Cannons legit? And I think all three of us said yes last week. But to be completely honest, there's still something in my heart with a team that can be ranked that bad with the experts in Vegas making these odds. I trust them a lot. They're good at their jobs. They're paid the big bucks for a reason. So there's something that was telling me, hey, this team, you know, they might slip. They might slip. Them beating the Water Dogs the way they did, holding that dominant offense to single-digit goals, just unbelievable. And they are officially legit, if not my pick to win right now at all.
Ooh, hot takes there from my man Brenny. Boys, chat's wondering. We'll spin them off quick and then give our bets for this week. Best team name, and I'm guessing that goes hand in hand with like best logo, best uniform. So best team name for me, I already told you guys, I think the Chrome logo is unreal. I think the colors, the Miami Vice steez that they have is incredible. Yeah. It's just a shame that they should just rename their name to the Kaka, because dear God, they are horrible this year. But Chrome, if all bias out, not even what happens on the field, they're just drip kings. What do you say, Lloyd?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to pick a team other than Chrome because the logo is so sick.
Sick.
But I mean, I like the Whip Snakes logo. I do think it's pretty fire. The mix of the green and red is kind of nice. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so there's nothing wrong there.
Oh, okay. Little Lloydy clause. I like it. What about you,
man?
Oh, we're getting nicknames already. I'm gonna have to tell Lloyd here. They're called the Drip Snakes for a reason. The Whip Snakes, they have sweet uniforms. Drip Snakes is a nickname. I love the colors. I think those white jerseys are so freaking cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go with them. But the Water Dogs are a close second, in my opinion. That's just such a random thing to where they somehow made it work, and the purple is just so sweet.
Yeah, the purple is unreal, and also they're like cream colored helmets with just the dog, like the dog with the W, just the paw with the W.
Yeah,
unreal. I think those are best helmets in the league, bar none. It will be funny when all these teams like get assigned cities. I hope that the Water Dogs like get like assigned to like a fucking desert, like Arizona, where there's just no waters. Just so it's just like it's like, oh, we're in on the joke now. It's like Water Dogs, in an oasis in the desert. All right, boys, actionable info time. We had a hell of a week last week. If I try and bet any unders, slap me in the face, tell me you're cut off. So we'll give some picks here. Chaos are 1.5 against the Whip Snakes in the first game of the weekend. Total is 24.5. I like the under in this game. No, I'm just fucking with you, Benny. What do you?
I was about to say, we start right there. Cut it out, dude. Cut it out.
Come on. Benny, you got anything in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like I'm glitched. Am I glitched for you guys right now?
No, you're good, man. You're perfect.
You never look better.
Oh, okay, my bad. My screen must be bugging. But either way, I think that it would be very easy for me to ride with the Whip Snakes. That huge Will Manny goal 2 weeks ago got me on the right track come gambling time. But a good gambler has to know when to lay off. In this situation, it's not quit. It's going to go reverse and join Lloyd's bandwagon with the chaos. This is just simply a wait on for me. I don't know Kyle Bernlohr's status. Obviously, Their goalie
he's
played
done.
very well last week. 71% is what Lloyd said a couple minutes ago. I'm just going to have to tail Blaze here. This is a minus 115 line. Totally a pick 'em between these two teams. I'm going to go with the better goalie because that's the only thing that I can find a difference in with these two teams. Give me the chaos.
Yeah.
I like it. Chaos with the Whip Snakes. And I think Bernlor is going to be shut down. I think it was like something that he ended up breaking in his arm or something. So I don't have it in front of me. I would be shocked if we see him the rest of the year. But to Lloyd's point earlier, it's not like Krebs have been playing too bad behind him for sure. Anything you're betting in this one, Lloyd, or just a lean here?
I think this will probably just be a lean, man, because we saw this game a couple weeks ago, and it was a high-scoring, thrilling fashion end to this game, and that's just what you get when these two teams play. But I do, like I said, man, again, I'm a chaos guy, and after what I saw this past week, and I know it was against the Redwoods, I said this, but the ability to finish a game was super, super important in that game, especially. And going up back now against the Whip Snakes, you got the win that I think you really needed to get underneath your belt after a tough loss. Now you come back, get to play the same opponent. The motivation is going to be there, and the thrive and the will to want to win this game, especially if it's tight down the stretch. I love Chaos here. It's a lean right now, but I really do think Chaos will take this game home against Whip Snakes.
Yeah, I think the main thing is if you like Chaos in this one, you bet it on the money line because this is going to be the 6th time since 2021 these two teams have faced off. Like Lloyd said, they played earlier this year, but in those 5 different matchups, no time was the Chaos ever the favorite in the game. So seeing them as minus 1.5, I think, there might be a little bit of just bias this year with thinking that the Whip Snakes are a little down. So my lean would actually be towards taking that 1.5 with the Whip Snakes, but it's not going to be a bet for me for the reasons that you guys said. It's just a lean, taking that 1.5 simply because it's a position that you have never been able to take with the Whip Snakes in this matchup before. And they've beat them 4 out of the 5 games. Did the Whip Snakes prior to that? So it's just something to think about there. We haven't seen a 2.5 spread in hella long, but we see it this week. Guys, it's Archers laying the 2.5 against Chrome. I don't think that's enough. Like I don't think I would bet 2.5 with the Chrome with the Chats money. Like what do you guys think in this one?
I 110% agree. This is a team, especially Chrome, and a team that struggles to score. Their defense has looked absolutely awful. I really do believe all year. And you have a team that has some of the hottest guys and the hottest sticks on it right now. And it's just a really bad matchup. And like I said, I really think 2.5 is not enough. I don't know. Is it minus 110 to be?
I'll pull it up real quick. I don't have it exactly.
It's minus 120.
It's minus 120. Okay, so that's not that bad. I mean, I figured if they put out that line, it'd be almost a 140 or 150.
You would think.
Yeah, you really would think. And that's just the thing with this Archers team, man. There's so many studs on it, and they're playing so well. They always win the game, even if it's close. If it's not close, they're not going to let you back into the game. They're not going to make the mental mistakes, and it's just not going to be a very good sighting for Chrome this weekend.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's one of those things for me where we bring up the point. We haven't seen a 2.5-point underdog in forever. The Atlas, they were underdogs last week against the Archers, and they went down multiple goals, and Lloyd could only still shop them at plus 220. So for the other people watching the show that aren't that familiar with betting the Premier Lacrosse League, there is not big underdogs to go juice up in this league. There is not massive points to take. It's very competitive, and I was the first one to just go on a rant about how bad the Chrome are this year. But you see it in the NFL all the time. A 6.5-point underdog is a ton of points in that league. 2.5-point underdog in the PLL is very similar to a number like that. This is just a total stay away on my end.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, too, we've seen over the last 3 seasons, 2021 is when I started tracking these lines. We've seen these 2.5 spreads, or I guess spreads 2 and 2.5 and up, only 18 times, and that's in 112 games. We've only seen 18 times where a team is getting 2 or 2.5. The underdogs against the spread in those games are 13 and 5. 13 and 5. So
wow, that's a very interesting stat.
Yeah, it's been a nice trend to just blindly take the 2.5, but this is one of the ones where it's a stay away. Like if they have a live line, what I'm going to hope is that Chrome starts off, they get like 2 goals off the bat, and I can get Archers at -1.5, or I can get Archers at, minus
Yeah, that would be
115 on the money
the
line.
look. Yeah, that
That's
would be
what
the
I would
look
do.
for sure. Yeah, I mean that's really if you're betting this game, and like I said, I mean we've all kind of said this. This is kind of a stay away game for most of us. I think you're either taking Archers right off the bat, or you're just waiting, and you're just gonna see where you can shop and what you can get. And if even at the over under, if Chrome is scoring some goals early, Archer's gonna score a lot. They're gonna rip off a couple eventually, and so if you can get a good over in there too, I might be looking at that too. But it's gonna be probably the worst game of the weekend. I'll say that.
I'm kind of with you. It's gonna be a one-sided affair. One thing I would probably wait on player props too, because I think you could at least see Archer's are going to put a lot of shots on cage. Scanoni's a decent enough goalie. If you see his save total at like 11.5, 12.5, I think he goes north of that just because the volume of shots that he's going to see. So that's something I've done well is goalie props this year. I would wait for that to come out and maybe look towards an over for Scanoni. Water Dogs Atlas, boys. Water Dogs 1.5 point favorites. Total in this one, 24.5. Atlas almost got it done last week, Brenny. I know they're your squad. I'm going to wait for you last on this one. I think Atlas could get the outright win. I've liked what I've seen from these back-to-back weeks. Like they're clearly not just rolling over. They're clearly not just mailing it in. So I'm probably going to take the 1.5 with Atlas. But again, on a Tuesday, I guess, follow me on Twitter at Newbie Talks. I'll share out my picks closer to the end of the weekend because it can only be a lean for me towards the Atlas to start the week off. But I wonder, what do you think? Water Dogs getting it done, or is that the look for you too here, Lloyd?
Yeah, man. I mean, I have it down right here. I don't know what it is right now. Is it what's the Atlas money line right now?
+110.
Yeah, +110.
Dude, I love that so much. I mean, I think that's awesome. Like you said, you're coming off a team that, let it slip at the end of the game, right? So now you have that motivation to not, obviously let that happen again. And you got your guys. I mean, you really played really well in that game. You outshot them, and you had only 3 less shots on goal against the Archers, who are the top 10 team. Like I said, if the Archers didn't rip off 4 goals in a row in less than a minute, that game was pretty much in the bag. And then you had to go to OT, and you really did have a chance. But you got the Archers. They're gonna do what they do. No shock there. And then Chris Gray, he's been playing amazing, man. He had an 8-point game against the Archers, and this is a team that, like you said, man, is they're showing a lot of resilience right now. And the Water Dogs still kind of up in the air, man. I mean, it did not look good against the Cannons this weekend, and so I love the Atlas here, especially in this one.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, the Atlas to start the year, they were the only team that hadn't covered a spread, and now they've covered in back-to-back weeks. You're getting them as a dog again here. That's why I think I would lean more towards just taking that 1.5, but I don't hate that money line look at all. They're your squad. You're going to be repping a hell of a nice jersey, maybe with your first name on the back. I don't know, Brenny, but what are you going to be betting in this one?
This is a really tough one for me, guys, because everyone knows I'm an Atlas guy. I'm about to get some Atlas gear, which makes me even want to take them more. But we know sports, and all 3 of us were once athletes. We were washed up now. But I would say that when you play as good as a game as they played into a 5th period against the top team in the league, it was a shootout. Everybody played well. I mean, Lloyd was talking about it. This was a coming out party for a lot of Atlas players. Chris Gray, 8-point game. How about Gavin Adler, the first overall pick, scoring a massive goal in that second half? He was pumped up about that. This was an all-around team not win, though. And I think that that's so crushing that they couldn't pull out the victory in that game that it makes me a little bit scared that they might be down in the dumps. Because I will say this. We just skipped over that Chrome game pretty fast. As good as the Atlas has played, as talented as they are, this is a 2-win team, guys. And the Chrome as a 2.5-point underdog, we failed to mention, this is a week where their backs are officially against the wall. The Chrome are playing like this is their last game of the season because they know the Atlas have a really tough matchup this week. They need to get this win to each have 2 wins. And like Newbie said, they have a head-to-head, the Atlas still have to play the Redwoods down the stretch, and I think that's a game for Atlas fans where you're really banking on a win come that time of year. So Chrome, it's like they really need a win. Obviously, the Atlas do, but the Chrome were put away early last week. Now the Atlas, let's see how much energy they come back with in a massive game for them this weekend.
Yeah, hell of a breakdown right there from my man Brenny, and we'll see. Because the other thing is too is the Chrome game is before. So how much of the end of the year is Atlas scoreboard watching the Chrome? Because all Atlas has to do to make the dance is not be as bad as Chrome. You know what I mean? That's the reality of where they are. Yeah. That game the night before, if Chrome does lose, does Atlas say, hey, let's ice up a little bit, let's go a little bit easier, let's just focus in for next week. Sure, they still might be able to win it, but I think those are two teams that are definitely correlated down the stretch. If Atlas wins and it takes Chrome's wind out of its sails and vice versa. So I think that's something to track too. Last one, boys, Cannons, Redwoods. I guess this will be my sick pup play of the week. I'm taking the Redwoods. I don't know why. I'm catching the falling knife. I'm being a dumbass. It's just, I guess I have to make one a week that everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing, newbie? Why? You could pick any board. You could pick any game on the board. That game for me this week is going to be Redwoods. Give me the 1.5. Give me the money line. The only reason why I'm picking it is because there's no reason to pick it. So what? So tell me why I'm crazy, Lloyd.
Let's start there. There's a lot of reasons why you're crazy, newbie. Let's let the first thing. Let's start there.
Outside of just the bet,
outside of just the bet, we'll start there. But I mean, this is a 5-2 team, and the Redwoods 3-4 didn't look that great this weekend. We've talked about it against the Chaos, and it gave the Chaos the ability to kind of get back in their groove this weekend, and that was really big for them. This is a team that scores against. They allow 13 goals a game, and the Cannons, they score 15 a game. So it's going to be tough. The thing that I actually love about this game is the over. I don't know what it's at, but I would assume, do you know what it's at, newbie?
24.5. Yeah,
24.5. I was just about to say, I could see easy 26 goals being scored in this game. Agreed. So I'm going to go Cannons, Redwoods. I'm going to take the over in this game, and especially not taking under probably ever after what I saw Newbie do this past weekend. But a lot of reasons why you're crazy, Newbie, and I do not think that the Redwoods even have a chance to really win this game, but I do think that this will be a high-scoring game, and the over will go.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you guys think I'm crazy? You're like, bro, I'm just on a stream with you. I'm not paid to be your fucking therapist. I know that there's a lot of reasons why you have some issues for sure. Brenny, is there any way I could talk you into a Redwoods, or are you gonna double it up and be like, yo, I want the shorts to match? I'll go head to head and I'll get the matching Atlas shorts to go with my jersey.
Oh, man, I wish I could, newbie, because you're a great guy. You're a great host, and I like you a lot. But there is just no way that the Redwoods win this game. I think that the Cannons, after last week's performance, they are just continue to get better every single week. And to my point with the Chrome being a 2.5-point dog, plus 200 on the money line, this is a team that is almost minus 170 on the money line here with the Cannons. It's minus 166 on DraftKings. Doesn't seem like a lot in normal sports because we see it every day in the MLB. We see it every week in the NFL. That is a lot of juice in the Premier Lacrosse League. I don't think that they juice it up that much and make you lay $166 to win $100 for some team that has a chance. I mean, obviously everybody has a chance to lose, but right. I'm very confident. If they come out and make this a minus 130 line, I'm totally with you, newbie. But I think that the ship has sailed with the Woods.
Fuck. All right, the boys on the Cannons, and I'll just be doing my hello from the other side for this one, boys. Fuck.
Let's go.
Oh, god damn it!
Awesome.
All right, well, I guess tune in next Tuesday and/or Wednesday for me breaking down why I made another horrible, stupid fucking pick on the Net Profits stream. But I'm doing it. I'm taking the Redwoods, guys, and I'll be doing my Adele impression. But boys, this is always one of the best parts of my weeks. I love this, guys.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of the same with you guys going on 2 weeks in a row, man. This is awesome.
Hey, newbie, we could be the suckers next week. You got to remember that. So
you could be.
Be confident.
Absolutely, that's right.
0-1, does it become 0-2 against the squad here? We'll find out here on next edition of Net Profits. Huge thanks to everybody in the chat. Make sure you're following SoBet. Make sure you're following all three of us, and we will be back, hopefully recapping an amazing Redwoods win next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.